All right, we're on our way to the next job now. This is another kind of miscellaneous job. Going to be a no cleanup again. A bunch of little white pines, if I remember. Client just wants slashed out. She's going to do all the cleanup. There's also some elms there, I think like slippery elms. Nothing big, and maybe pruning on a medium-sized white pine or full removal on that one. I don't remember, but we'll pick up here. It's just the next town over, and I'll show you what we got going on here on this one too. So here's the next job. At some point she's going to want all these trees out. It's basically a mixture of spruce, pine, and elm. Our priority is this row here, and we're just going to start working back this way. Won't be getting into any of these bigger pines here today. And there's one medium-sized elm back in here too. But all these little ones are going to go down. We do have a little bit of a drop zone in here we're going to use. So I think I'm going to start just taking these small ones out, just putting them down, start opening up some room. The only one we may have to climb, of course, once we get these small ones out, we might have room to drop it. It's this pine here. I mean, it's relatively small. Kodam's got that school marm on it. Well, that's it. Pretty simple. Should be pretty easy. These elms are dying. Yeah, she's just wanting to open up and have a yard in here now. She's got a garden going in here. And yeah, she's going to do all the cleanup herself. I did have one time where I smashed a shed. I was taking down this huge silver maple in a backyard, and it was winter, real cold, right around 0. Basically, where I wanted to lay the tree, I told the client, I said, honestly, I think the tips are going to tickle the shed. And I said, but, you know, I'll fall it for significantly cheaper than to dismantle this thing from climbing it, of course. So like, yeah, we don't care, you know, if the shed gets hit, we'll just buy a new one. We've been wanting an excuse to buy a new one anyway. So I'm like, well, I think we're going to tickle it, but the shed should probably be okay. Well, I sent that tree, and sure enough, the little wispy tips of that silver maple just clipped the shed, and it was one of these plastic ones. This one over here is a metal one, but being so cold out, when those wisps hit the top of that plastic shed, it literally exploded into a billion pieces, completely annihilated the shed. But like everything inside the shed was okay. They had a lawnmower and stuff in there, but just because of how cold it was, it blew it into a million pieces. So I was like, yeah, sorry, but yeah, they were willing to accept the risk based on the reward of saving money, and so they were totally okay with it. But yeah, completely blew it up. I felt bad, but what do you do? All right, we'll go back cut first on this one. That looks pretty good. Just don't want that to pop out. Let's see if we can't shove it over now. Hercules it. Or Samson rather. Samson. Yeah. Baby trees. Alright, here's the plan. I'm going to crawl up this, I call it still a small white pine, but big enough where we can't fall it. We've got this elm that's in the way of our drop zone. We technically have the room, but I'm kind of wanting to climb it anyway. I'll just cut and chuck this down. Top must have broke out of this tree at one point. Some odd growth. Definitely had a nest of some kind here. So yeah, eventually we got to get this elm down. It's getting crispy up top. About half of it is weighted towards the drop zone like we like it. I think we could send a pretty big top out of it if those other bigger white pines were gone. I brought a rope up with me. I think I'm going to try and get it into this little spruce right there, and then we'll rig the spruce off of this elm hole. I should be able to swing over to there. The plan anyway. I like that. We can just rig that tree hole. That'll be fun. All right, pine's down. So I did preset a rope up in this spruce and then just went through that union of the elm. I'm gonna grab my porter wrap quick here. I'll just cinch it down and then we'll just cut this thing down whole, rig it whole off of the elm. And then I'll do the same thing on this other elm. I'll just shoot a rope in there, we'll grab it. Yeah, so these are just baby trees, but I think I'm gonna go up this slightly larger one and hopefully we can attack the whole group of, what do we got here, 2, 4, 6 trees. We got one branch up on this larger pine that's crossing in and holding the tops of these little ones from being able to drop them into our pile here. We'll see about this little elm. I'm gonna bring my rope up with me, wherever the heck that is. And I may just tie onto that and fall that back into the pile. Nice thing is that we'll be able to pile up most of the brush just on that side. That way it's not too crazy big over here. Starts to suck rummaging through brush. If I were doing the cleanup on this, I'd basically do one tree at a time. Get one down, clean it up, move on to the next. Mostly. I mean, some slight exceptions to that rule, but I just don't like rummaging through brush more than I have to. Should have caught it. Come on. Nice. I don't know if you can see right over that little spruce, straight back. That's a hospital. And almost where the top of that spruce tree is, straight ahead, that building, that's where 2 of my oldest kids were born. They don't have OB there anymore, but years ago they did. So it always, working next to it gives me good memories, of course, when my 2 oldest girls were born. The other 2 were born at a different place because, well, we made a different decision, but also because they closed that down. So now we can fall sticks. I want to transfer into here quick. That's all we want to do there.
Run, Forrest, run!
I think here's the final product, at least for now. I don't even remember how many trees I cut down. I'll have to look back at the footage. So yeah, just these 3 large trees left that I think she's gonna want to take. This elm's gonna be a little bit of a chore. It's pretty crispy up there. I was checking it out when I was up in that pine. These pines won't be no big deal at all. Pretty much bomb city on those. We made it back safe to the shop. That was a pretty fun job, actually. Got a little bit of everything involved in the job, a little climbing, a little falling, a little rigging. Of course, no cleanup, but that's okay by me. So that's gonna do it for today. I do appreciate you sticking it out with me. Again, if you made it this far, you're one of the few, and I would appreciate a like and subscribe. Certainly helps the channel out, and we will catch you all on the next one.